welcome back everyone, welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Kung Fu Cup, the KFC week number 9 2026. I'm of course ZvT with you, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one all. Bienvenidos this lovely Friday evening as we have returned here with a night of Kung Fu Cup StarCraft. For those who are curious, this is a weekly tournament organized and hosted by SC Boy. Bearing in mind as well that this is not on the PTR. I believe they do plan on hosting PTR events in the future. When that occurs, we shall see. For now though, it is going to be on the base live version of the game. And we're going to be jumping into our semi-finals. Or semi-finals, papi. Taking a break from the ZvT Mondays as we did cover them 2 days in a row, and we'll be covering more ZvT Monday action tomorrow as well. Again, we are catching up. We're catching up with the backlog of replays, I should say, as well. For now though, we're going to be jumping into our fresh series, best of 3 ZvT. Going to be jumping into Cure versus Solar. That's going to be our first semifinals match. Bearing in mind, this will be followed by Clem versus Shin, another TVZ. Non-stop TVZs here tonight, so let's go. Let's jump into those semis. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, the South Korean Zerg. It is a Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Let's jump on in as Kira does open up on the low ground, going for the initial 2-rack Reaper opener. I'm assuming 2-rack Reaper, but we have been seeing Kira mix in 2-racks openers into Marine, into No Scout, into a 2-1-1, or even into 3-racks follow-ups. Kira, he has been a little more diverse as of late when it comes to his builds of choice, so we'll keep an eye on whether or not he takes his gases. And there it is, gases being taken, so it should be Reaper. There are variations where Kira does go gasless. Not this time though. So it does take his gases. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have a standard opening here by Solo going for his own hatch gas pool. Standard opener going to be settling into his own side of the map. And welcome to Ruby Rock. Welcome. Again, one of the smaller maps in the map pool, aggression here is typically favored, and we do see Solo going for a delayed gas, guys. So hatch pool opener into a later gas. It is very common nowadays to see roach-based play when it comes to ZvT, especially from the Korean side of things. So think of Solar, think of Shin, think of Rogue. They often don't just go roaches, but they often play 2-base, and they go for a very late third expansion. That has been the trend as of late, going to 2-base roach or 2-base lair. What we have been mixing in is 2-base muter as well, which is a viable option when you go 2-base lair, but on a smaller map like Ruby Rock, it feels very difficult to get away with. So I'm going to be leaning away from 2-base muter and leaning more towards 2-base roach, but we'll keep it on our players. I should also emphasize that 2-base Hydra is also a build that has been mixed in from players like Shin and Solar specifically. Meanwhile, it is 2-rack Reaper. 2-rack Reaper is on the way. The Overlord does confirm, and it's going to be to Solar to keep up with the Reapers and to defend back at home with said Queens and with said early Link production. So aggression is coming out across the map. Here we go. So we are going to be moving out. Back at home, still droning, still building up our queens. The first Reaper has arrived, and it's going to be on this Reaper to try to pick away the Lings, maybe get a drone kill as well. Drone should not be going down. Oh, as we get one Zergling already. Yeah, nice catch by Cure. Already a good start. Does catch a Zergling. Does pivot away. There is no third expansion. As we tried to emphasize at the beginning, this is a 2-base opener out of Solar. This is why we were bringing up 2-base Roach or 2-base Lair or 2-base Spire, as Solar is stuck on 2 bases. Behind this, going for the factory follow-up, so it is going to be a 2-on-1 variation. There we go, 2-on-1, third CC before Starport. Greedy build here by Cure. It's being more economic. And the Reapers, they make their way in. They make their way to the main base. They do catch a couple of extra Zerglings here. No drones going down yet. Oh, we do get a Reaper. Not bad. Not a bad catch out of Solar. Does catch one of the Reapers and should soon be looking to expand and claim a third. Another Zergling goes down. Jesus. Another Zergling. 4 Links so far for 1 Reaper. And Curie's just chilling, getting into his own mid-game. Bearing in mind, this will hit a later stim timing because Starport is delayed. So this does hit around 6, if not 6:30. So it's going to be a later timing here out of Cure. Meanwhile, Solar back at home, we've yet to determine his tech of choice here. He did play 2-base. He's pulling into his gases. Whether it's going to be a Roach one or a Lair Show us what you got. Show us what you got. I feel like at this point it should be a Roach Warren by now. I mean, if it was going to be Lair, I feel like we could have even delayed Link Speed and... Oh. He canceled Link... Okay. I was going to say that it doesn't make sense to get Link Speed if we're going into the Lair, but he canceled Link Speed and he does begin the Lair, so let's go. It's going to be 2 base Lair. We have the Roach Warren on the way as well. Now, just because you see a Roach Warren doesn't mean it's going to be Roach Tech, but actually the Roach Warren is hidden behind the natural, so it looks like a hidden Roach Warren into an early Roach push. This can lead into a 2 base Roach all-in. So we'll see if Solo joins up his 3rd base or not. We'll see how hard Solo does commit. Again, this Roach aggression can hit very hard on Ruby Rock. This is one of those maps where this can excel. Reaper is going to be deflected. A +1 Carapace is going to be on the way. Catching out another Reaper. Not bad. Another Reaper gets caught. Now, if this were to be committed play with Roaches, I would give the advantage to Cure just because he's opening up not with Medivacs. He's going for a 362-on-1 Banshee opener. Very cheeky play here by Cure. This is often done by players like Beyond and Maru. They're very fond of mixing in Banshees with this kind of build. It typically does catch Zerg players off guard. Why is that? Well, when you see a 2-Rax opener with Stim on the way, you expect a prioritization of Medivacs. You're not typically ready for Banshees of all things. And the Banshees revealed. And again, that would be ideal against Roaches. That's just free damage. Cure still goes for the early move out though. Okay, this is like a Beyond-esque push. Stim is done. 0 Medivacs, by the way. Every Stim will hurt that much more. So we gotta be careful with how and when we Stim. We don't want to waste the Stim. Don't want to waste it. Cure, he does pull away. He does back up. Banshee to the main base. Spore thankfully is in position. Solo, he will defend the main. Behind this Solo, he's droning. He's droning up his 3rd base. He's not going for an all-in. He did build up some Roach Ravager, but he's still droning amidst all of this. So just playing it safe. From here, Cure is now securing his own 3rd base, getting into his own tank production. His first wave of Medivacs have finally arrived, catching an Overlord. Supply blocking Solar even. Oof. And Solo is going to move out, but we'll see what he can get done here. The army rotates. Yeah, the army rotates down to the 3rd. Ooh, does get caught mid-pickup. Okay, Solo moving in. Can he get within range of the tank? He cannot. Files a crazy army. Banshee is back at home to defend, and the Roaches are forced back. This does delay some mining at least, but only delay some mining. No major damage. That was close, though. That was close. Behind this, we have the Infestation, but this will be for safety infestors, in towards Hive Tech, in towards Ultras. That is the go-to here in the current meta, is to open up Roach into Ultra Tech. Link Speed is on the way, Hive is on the way. This should lead into +1 melee with the second Evo Chamber and into the Ultra Cavern. That's going to be a big power spike for Solar, but what I will say is that there is going to be a window of opportunity where Solar is going to be vulnerable to an attack, to a move out, but that's where the Infestors come into play. What we have seen in recent times is that it is difficult for Terran players to punish the Zerg when they attempt to go into Hive like this, as they have their safety Roach Ravager, and they typically have their safety Infestors. Typically. Behind this, Cure is building up. Again, at this point, Cure, he has the stronger economy. Gets a Ravager as well. Let's trade out a couple of Marines. Ravager does get caught. As I mentioned, there's that melee upgrade. Again, this is a sign of Ultra Tech. I mean, the Infestation was a sign of Ultra Tech. I'm a little bit surprised that we did not actually get a safety Infestor. It can be quite risky to skip them. Can be risky. It's greedy, Pat. But thankfully for Solar, Cure isn't pushing, right? He's harassing with the Banshee, he's harassing with these 2 Medivacs, but he's keeping the army back at home. So there's no need for something like Infestors and Pungal Growth. As there's that Ultra Cavern, Solar, he's almost there. As you mentioned, that's going to be a big power spike, is those Hive Tech Ultras with the Hive upgrades as well. It's coming. And it will be hitting before there are ghosts ready. That's why it's a big power spike. It's typically before the tech is really there for the Terran. And we have been expecting more damage from Cure, and he hasn't really achieved much. He finally does deny a base, at least. He's being somewhat active, but not much damage. And based on our setup here, it looks like Kure just wants to receive. It looks like Kure is just going to build up his tank count into Liberators as well before Ghosts, set up his Woloffs here at his third, set up a Woloff at the fourth base, and just turtle up. It can be difficult for Ultras to break this kind of position, but that's where the Vipers come into play. And there are already Vipers. We already have 2. The Vipers are out. With the help of Blinding Clouds, they can break through. Likewise, drop Lords on the way, so we can go for some multi-prong aggression. We can go for the main push on the front lines, then drop into the main base, or we can even just go for an Ultra Doom drop into the main as well. We'll see. Kure pushes? I mean, this is pre-kindness plating. That is true. Like, the Ultras aren't ready yet. So he does start to move out. I think main... Ooh, doesn't quite engage. But again, there's a very slim window here for Kure if he wants to try to break through before the Ultras. This is going to be quite close. It's going to be close. It's going to be clutch. Tanks are on siege. Ultras are revealed. As Kure does make his way towards the 5th. Oh. Hey, Bailey's a roll off a creep. Show some mind shots. Nice Blinding Clouds on the tanks. Mind shots that don't connect. And with that, we break through. Yeah, we break through. Every tank is going to go down. Kure, he will lose the entire... There were no splits. No split. No solo stepping. Takes the Bailey's to the face. And with that solo, he's done it. His snowball's out of control. He breaks the main army. Pushes towards the 4th base. And there's nothing to defend. Ay. Again, Kure chose to be active. I thought it was going to turtle up, but no, he chose to move out across the map. He gets punished for it. He will lose everything. Losing another tank. Thankfully for Kure, he's distracting Sola's army. And Sola does not keep pushing. Doesn't quite have enough. Not yet. So the game will continue. But that was a rough start for Kure. Have more Ultras popping out. How many Ultras do we have? 4, so it'll be 6. No, just 4. So 4 Ultralisks. Now, there's no pressure on Solar. The reality. I mean, sure, we have the drop on the top side. There's some pressure going on, but Solar, he's free to just move out. Kure, he needs to keep pushing. He needs to distract Solar, as Kure cannot defend this position. Kure is forced to respond. Ultras, they break through. Yeah, they break on through. The tank does go down. We bust the mineral line. Ay. Not like this. Takes the Bailey to the face. 20 ACV kills. I mean, as we mentioned, like, a lot of this just came down to that initial fight. Came down to the fight here outside of the 5th base. Job does deny a base. Denies the 6th. But Kure's fighting for his 4th. Like, he's... Ay. Now, he's working towards a fusion core into Liberator production. That will help eventually, but it still takes quite some time to get into that kind of tech, into that kind of switch. And now we have Infestors on the way. Spire is done for eventual Corruptors and Broodlords if need be. Nice kiting here out of Kure. Nice kiting. And there is a world where Kure can maybe catch Solar off guard and out of position. Here, for example, hey, denies another base. Here, again, there's no defensive setup here with tanks or Widowmines or SimCity. Mass Powerbomb on the Metamax. Ultras, they commit in. Oh, Mass Fungal as well. Oh my god. The Fungal connects. And Banelings as well. And with that, the Planetary falls. This position has been broken. We expected this position to be broken early, if you recall. But Solar, he just played it safe. Pulled away. Built up his army. And with that, that's 15 SCV kills. Ay. Kure is struggling to hold on, Pappy. Struggling. He's still distracting with the double drop though, true. He's like, he's doing what he can. So we collapse on the remaining army. Catching at reinforcements, some piles here on the Liberator. Oh, doesn't quite bring it down. Here he's holding his own. He's holding his own. Sully's trickling in. Gotta just calm down. Calm down, Pappy, calm down. Now we just back off, remax, rebuild, and go for the kill. As the army's just it's been getting weaker and weaker here over time for Cure. It's been getting weaker, getting smaller. Collapse in. As we collapse in, we have a couple of fresh fungals available as well. Fungal lands, breaking through the main army. And again, this should just be the final stand here for Cure. As there's not much left. He's got a couple of medevacs, no more liberators. Ultras, they have no support, so eventually they will go down. True. But Solar, he gets a planetary. He gets it back. Nice streams killing my streak. Oh no. Yeah, we're gonna have streams for the people, papi. For the other half of the world. Share my papi, share my. We appreciate it, we appreciate it. As with that Solo just moving in once again, collapsing on whatever is left. Now he has anti-air, he's got a Corruptors, he can hunt down the Medevacs as well, so less efficiency here for Cure. He's splitting his heart out. I mean, that was impressive. The way he split up his Marauders was crazy. Doesn't matter, but it was impressive. And from here, there's no need to tech up, right? Like, we don't need to work towards, like, a Greater Spire or Brood Lords. Like, we just commit here with whatever we want. More lanes on the way. Have our anti-air. We just be coping a little bit, papi. True. Un poquito. As the Swarm has arrived, and this time, finally, Solar, he can seal the deal. The army's just heavily overstimmed. There are no more medevacs, so again, there's no more efficiency, no more sustainability. Cannot sustain. GG gets called, and Solar, he takes game at number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar does claim lead in the series. Again, Cure, he was surprisingly passive here in game 1. We spoke earlier how he went for a 362 on 1, which does go for a later timing. That is true. But even when he was starting to be active with his medevacs, he was very, very passive. He was nibbling away at the edges, of course, of the creep. Wasn't really threatening any main bases or any economy or any mineral lines. Likewise, the Banshee was more defensive as well. It's understandable because of the map itself, but it did mean that Solar was safe to just turtle up, you know, build up to 4 and then 5 bases with his roaches, and then snowball out of control with his ultras. We saw that Cure, the one time he started to be active was after the fact, when the hive was done and when ultras were already in production. That's the moment where he decided to move out with his tanks, but it was too little too late for that. And he got caught unsieged, and the moment that fight went awry, that was game. That was a deciding factor then and there. Because Cure was so passive, I just assumed he was just going to turtle up and just be hyper defensive, but he did move out, but that was his downfall at that point. Like, at that point, it was just too late. At that point, ultras were already out, and Solar, he was already maxed. It's already maxed out. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game 2, going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let us go. As we jump into our ZvT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Zerg player, the Red Zerg player himself. It is Solar. Fixing up the scores. There we go. As he is leading 1-0, and welcome to the Old Republic, a much larger map this time. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. It does have an open 3rd and 4th base, that is true, but because this map is larger, this is where we do expect to see, we don't really expect to see as much roach play, instead Ling Bane. We expect Ling Bane and maybe even 2-base Lair and 2-base Muta as well. We spoke about this at the start of game 1, how 2-base Muta was unlikely on Ruby Rock, just because the map is so small and it's so much easier for the Terran player to punish the Zerg, but on these larger maps, that's where for Muta players a lot more viable, as you have a lot more breathing room as a Zerg player to be able to buy time, catch reinforcements moving out across the map, delay the push, and make use of your Mutas with a lot more room to breathe and room to work with. For now though, Hatchgas will standard opener this time. So standard opener, higher chance we go into Ling Bane in towards a standard mid game as well, which means we could even just see Ling Bane Hydra. True. So Hydra on Solar, lower chance now that we see Roach play. Not impossible, just lower chance. Likewise, Cure going for a standard opener himself. At game 1 he went for 2-Rax Reaper, this time Rax Expand. So our players do adjust as we get into the Old Republic. Now, I would say that on this map, the pressure is on the Terran player to be aggressive. This is a better map for Zerg, especially coming into the mid to late game. The reasoning for this is because of how open the 3rd and 4th base are. These two bases, whether it's the low ground 4th base or the linear 4th base, are very open, they're very exposed, they're a lot more spread out, and they can be very difficult to defend, as opposed to a map like Winter Madness or Celestial Enclave, where it's a little bit easier to turtle up on. Here, the bases are more open, more exposed, and we've seen many a player, both Terran and Protoss, struggle and fail to be defensive and to be turtly and to try to maintain these bases. Typically, the best way to deal with that is to have a good offense instead and force the Zerg player to be more defensive and force a little more chaos in the mid game instead, and not just allow the Zerg player to build up. So eyes are going to be on Cure. We'll see how aggressive he plans on being here. Behind this, third CC before Starport, so standard economic opener out of Cure, most likely into Banshee play, but we'll see. We shall see. Especially if he doesn't believe that there's going to be roaches here, then there's more value in skipping the Banshee and going into, say, a vanilla Banshee or into Liberators. Hydra on our Terran. So now the Reaper is going to be deflected, joining up back at home, and we will soon get into our tech of choice, whether it's going to be double Evo Chamber, whether it's going to be Bailey Nest, or Lair. We're leaning more towards Lair here, but eyes are on Solar. He may choose to be greedy. Meanwhile, we have our answer here. It is going to be 3cc into Banshee. Banshees are amassing, and Cloak is being researched. Okay. Commits into Cloak. Yeah, we'll see how much damage you can get done. The Zergling just gets in, gets a free scout of the main. Gets a free scout, confirms the 3rd CC, confirms the Cloak being resourced as well. Very nice moment here for Solar as he gets in, and it is Lair first. So Lair first out of Solar. Now taking his gases. We should soon be seeing Evo Chambers behind this. If not, this might be indicative of something greater here, of something like Spire Tech. There you go, double chamber, double upgrades, looking more like Ling Bane. Spores are repositioning, getting ready for the Banshees. And Cure's looking for a way in. Oh, does try to commit. Yeah, commits into the natural. Ling's nice, engaged here by Solar. He punishes the Hellions, and ooh, he will completely shut them down. Yeah, 4 Hellions remaining. They rotate towards the 3rd. Lings are a little bit late to respond, but the drones are not. Oh, nice positioning here by Cure, but he's going to be cleaned up. Yeah, completely cleaned up here. 2 drones do go down, so there's some damage, but that was what, 8 Hellions? Yeah, 8 Hellions and a Reaper. Brutal losses there for Cure. Solo, he defends well. And behind this, that is not +1 melee, that is +1 range. Okay, we have 1/1 upgrades on the way into Hydra Tech. Now, this is a style that has been very popular over the past, what, 4 months? 4 or 5 months? Specifically, though, with Solar. Like, Shin, Rogue, Lambo, Raynor, Serral, they don't really mess with this build too much. It's mainly Solar that's been embracing this, and that is a more standard opener, a more macro build here into a heavy Hydra style, into a delayed Baneling Nest and delayed melee upgrades. So he builds up a very heavy and a very high Hydra count early on. It's a more unique stylistic build that Solar has been enjoying as of late. It has its place for sure. It definitely has a big power spike. I would say that doesn't really scale as well into a late game scenario. Usually this leads into a big timing attack with Solar. Advantage is looking for more damage. Double jump on the way. Cure's being active, claiming his own third. 4CC is soon to be in production as he is taking his gases and a factory, so there's no ARAX. Here's macroing up. Just trying to be active. Does deal some decent damage, it does not force a cancel. Here are the Hydras, and again, they can bully the Marines. With this high numbers, he can. So again, a much more larva efficient composition here in the mid game, very Hydra heavy, and that is prompting tank production. Tanks are going to be ideal in this position. Going into a heavy buyer tank count. Baneling speed is on the way. And so far, Solar, he's defended well. Defended well. He's on 4 base saturation. He's on 82 workers. Now Solar can focus and fixate purely on army production. Solar's about to max out. Doesn't look like it yet, but that supply disparity is about to get larger and larger as Solar is done with his economy. His economy is complete. He will soon max with Baneling speed, and the goal here should be to break the army or to break the base, and it's going to be the army. As Kira is the one to move out, this is a bold move. Thankfully unscouted so far. Solar's not in position. But especially in this position, Solar, he can flank from the side. Army gets spotted. Solar, he responds. This base may go down, but that doesn't matter here. What matters is the army. Solar fighting for his base. There are 4 tanks in position. Hydra's moving forward. We're going to try to collapse in. He does get 3 tanks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tanks going to be going down. He won't get the final tank, though. We lose the base. Base falls. So we have somewhat of a back and forth. The expansion does fall, but Solar, he double expands, and he just killed 3 tanks. And again, if Cure will lose this army, he will lose this base as well, soon thereafter. We spoke about it at the start of the game, but that 4th base that Cure is taking is very difficult to defend. Solar almost flanks. There's 1 tank behind this. Sorry, 2 tanks. That's 2 free tanks. Another Vector Force to pick up. Tank goes down. Cure, he will find another expansion, though. He will force a cancel. Solar's out of position. Not bad. Denies the 5th base for a 3rd time. Solar just cannot expand. These are good pickups here by Cure. And once again, we spoke about this at the start of the game as well. The best defense on Ruby Rogue, sorry, on Old Republic is a good offense. What I mean by that is that Cure, if he was stuck at home, he would not save this base, but he's forcing Solar to be defensive, right? He's forcing Solar to be stuck at home, defending the northern 5th base, the southern 5th base. Like, this aggression here is working wonders for Cure to allow him to get his planetary up and running. So far, it's going well enough. Reinforcing with extra tanks. Hive is finishing up. That should gain access to Vipers. Solar ready for the flank. Uh-oh. Again, this position to try to push in is so brutal here. We find from behind. Bailings, they connect. Oh my god. The Bailings. They smash in and KungFu will lose everything. 3 tanks in the bio army at the same time. Doubled up on the right hand side. Does deny one of the bases. Does force a cancel. Once again, hopefully this keeps Solo busy. The last thing KungFu wants is Solo to push. Does not want Solo to push out. I still will deny the base once again. That's a kill this time. Kill, not a cancel. As KungFu does get away. Vipers are still lacking. We're setting up turrets, sensor towers, more planetaries, tank lines. Likewise, Solo taking up in towards lurkers as well. No ultras this time, of course. First lurkers are on the way. This is going to make it easier to defend these fringe locations with these lurkers. That is a little bit of a concern here for KungFu. We need to find some damage. Up until this point, he's done a great job of denying. Oh no, the Bailings, they smash in, they catch at the fire. Heavy losses for KungFu, plummeting 30 supply. And it will lose these 2 tanks. What I was going to say is that up until this point, KungFu did a great job of denying the 5th base, but the 5th is up. The 5th is finally up and running, and now suddenly KungFu, he's falling behind. KungFu, he has lost map control. Nidus into the main base. Will distract. Rocksha knocked down. Solo moving in. Guess himself the would be sick. And sniping CCs. Kills 1. Doesn't quite break the other. Lurkers, they still distract. Nidus Worm into the natural. Solo, he rotates over towards the would-be 5th expansion. And it's going to be a tough hold here for KungFu. Oh, does not get a Viper. Brutal Blinding Clouds. And Blinding Clouds, they pop off. Tank goes down. Ling Bane going to be rolling in. We're still lacking Ling Bane though. Lacking that. Oh, god. Lacking that Ling Bane. Bailings, they do connect. They connect, Bappy. Oh, no. Solo, he's holding his own. Once again, KungFu, he has to fight in this position. He cannot let the army get close. To his bases, I mean. Solo does launch in. Gets a tank. Oof. Catching another tank. Lurkers are whirling forward. The lurkers have finally arrived. The lurkers are here, Pappy. And they get within range. Oof. We spoke about it earlier. KungFu has to do everything he could to keep the army out of range of the bases. The bases are going to start going down. Ghosts have arrived. True. Nice one finishes. Lurkers into the main. Once again, causing a big distraction. Yeah, they laugh at this opening here. Catching out 2 Liberators and a tank. Oh, not quite the tank. Yeah, not quite. Bit of a misstep there by Solar. As Solo, he's now taken over the entire map, and you can see the momentum switch from one player to the other. Once Solo got his 5th base up and running, he gained map control. And now KungFu's on the back foot. So the back foot. He is slowly building up his ghost counts. He's got 7 ghosts so far, but no Liberators. His army isn't quite there. It's not quite there. Solo doesn't quite lunge forward. Not yet. Getting to 3-3. Throwing down more Nidus Worms. Rotating over. I would say that KungFu, he has a decent tank setup here towards the center. Here on the right-hand side is still a little bit lacking. As he is moving in position. Because they do try to somewhat trade. Solar moving in. Catching a tank. Nice flying cloud. As another one connects, another tank goes down as well. This time there's no planetary. But Curie's holding on. He's holding on back. Oof. Yeah, you can see Solar rallying. He knows he's close to breaking through. Lunges in. Takes down 2 more tanks. Takes down 3. Yeah, all 3 tanks go down. Massive losses. CC falls as well. Breaks the expansion. He breaks the base. Cure does not hatchery, but nowhere near as impactful. Nowhere near. Solar, he responds. An awkward rotation. Yeah, messy rotation out of Solar. Cure once again fighting for his 5th. At this stage, the 4th base is going to be... is it too difficult to push into? There are less tanks here than previously. There are less tanks. Now we have infestors. Fungal does land, catching out 2 ghosts. Another fungal here on the right hand side as well. Massive fungal, oh my god. Yeah, brutal fungals. Catching out the army. Solar once again he pulls away. Pivots around. Oof, catching out more ghosts. 2 more ghosts falling towards the end. And Solar has a bank, right? Solar, he has a bank to work with. Curie still not regained that 5th. Curie, he needs a base. He's broke. Curie has no money. This is a very bold position. Okay. Yeah, Curie, a little bit too aggressive here. He will lose another set of tanks. It's fighting for the creep. Ooh. Fungal does not land. Nice time with the infestor. Once again, tanks are exposed, losing 3 more tanks. That's a 3, losing 5? Oh, good. And 5 more tanks going down, and the command center as well. Once again, expensive losses here for Cure. And these are cheap trades, cheap losses for Solar, right? He's trading Ling Bane. Just Ling Bane. He's more than happy to trade. Nice Knights harass. Moving into the bases. Once again, tanks are exposed. Just gets the 1. Oh, but that is 16 SCV kills. Critical damage here in the back line. 17 SCVs going down. There's a window here before the railings are done, but yeah, the window is closing. Cure, he just wants a 5th base. He's trying. We do have Solar getting ready for potentially Broodlords. I don't think that's quite necessary here, but he has the tech ready. Greater Spire is finishing. Fungal's coming in. Solar, his army is split. Bear that in mind. Does move in. Once again, the army's a bit out of position. Catching out a couple of tanks. Jesus, there's a solid tank line behind this, though. Yeah, a lot of tanks further back. Oh. Fungal does graze the army. Nothing major. Denies the base. At the same time, very nice drop here by Cure. Does find a good amount of drones. It's 10 drones going down. Solar, he's forced all the way back home. Forced to respond. Messy response here from Solar as he will lose a base. lose the expansion. This is a good example as to why players like Serral, for example, they get Nidus Swarms here in each corner base so they can evacuate very, very quickly. Just to at least save the drones. As there's a very real chance we won't be able to respond in time. Very real. So he finds an opening. I mentioned this earlier, how the center area here was less fortified. So he does find that himself. Pushing into the natural. Threatening the main base. And there is a tank on the high grounds. So he has to be careful. Oh, pushing into tank lines, not worth it. Yeah, a little bit messy, but at the same time, this was 13 SCVs. Rallies into the 5th. Cause a distraction. And Solo, he knows what he wants. Does have a fungal available. Oh, nice CP. Nice CP in the Infestor. Tanks that were unsieged. Better engage for Solar. And we spoke about this earlier, but again, Cure, he has no money. Like he is broke. He's trying to keep up. Cure breaking out. Does land a couple of snipes. We hit the blinding clouds. They're covering every single tank as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal catch here, catching out all the tanks. Collapsing on the army. Heavy losses for Cure, losing what, 5, 6 tanks. Oh my god. Yeah, so many tanks go down, and with that Solar, he has broken the main army. And again, Cure just can't afford anything else. He's on a, what, a 1-base economy? If that. Barely trying to mine. Launching forward once again. Takes down another tank. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Solar, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he will claim the series. Again, it was a pretty intense period there where it was just Cure just struggling to defend his 5th base. Like that's what it came down to. I mentioned at the time that specifically on the Old Republic, this is why, or this map is Zurich favored. Once we get into this kind of game state, it is so difficult for the Terran player to defend and to survive and to claim a 4th and to claim a 5th base. This is why, if you noticed, for the past 5+ minutes, it was Cure stuck at home. Cure, he had no map presence. He had a couple of drops moving out here and there to apply some pressure and to get some mineral lines or get some hatchery kills, but outside of that, he was just stuck at home, and he had some very rough trades just because of how open these bases are. Every single time there was a fight, tanks were going down. 2, 3, 4 tanks are falling. Heavy losses there for Cure. Could not defend. GG. GG, well played. Oh, meanwhile, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the bits in the chat. Gah, baby, gah. Thank you so much. Come, I wish to hear cheap losses for once. It does happen in certain matchups with Zerg in this kind of situation, or Protoss as well. I think we mentioned last time. But GG. GG, well played. With that Solar, he will claim the series, will advance on, and again, winding it back a little bit here, Cure, I would say he had a decent start to the game. Remember, Cure, he was doing a good job when it comes to denying the 5th base. Until he wasn't, right? Like, I think he denied the 5th base 3 or 4 different times, and that was great. You know, he was able to keep Solar back, but then we did take note of the fact that at a certain moment, Solar, he took his 5th and he maintained it. He got it up and running, and that was the shift. That was the moment that the game shifted heavily in favor of Solar, where he gained map control, and Cure was stuck at home. Suddenly he was stuck at home. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into our next series. We're going to be jumping into our next TVZ. It's going to be between Clem and Shin. Let's go. Let us go.